that's going to go on the taxpayer dollar. They didn't really forgive you. They're going to assume that debt that the taxpayer had to pay for.
I'm a public
librarian.
librarian.
Of that is free.
I'm a librarian.
They're
I'm a librarian.
I'm
a librarian. I'm a librarian. It's the fact. I'm a librarian. I'm a librarian.
Stop it. Get some help.
Hi. So the first thing I want to say, just this kind of piggybacks off of his question, is that under President Biden, I'm a public librarian, I'm a children's librarian, and my debt was all forgiven under President Biden.
Okay.
For my undergraduate, where I went to the Howard University, and also my graduate, my master's, which I went here to the University of Washington. So I just want to say that the public debt relief, it is real. You're looking at someone who has received it, as well as over 1 million people who have. But I know that it has made an incredible difference in my life. I guess but that's just to say, shout out to that. My question though, for you, is what is your stance around abortion?
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is, because let me just preface this by saying I am 51 years old, okay? I have 2 beautiful children. I have a 14-year-old and a 6-year-old that I had at 44. Good. My husband and I, after we had our son, we tried for a long time to have a second baby. Mm-hmm. And when I was finally able to have another, to get pregnant again, that child was diagnosed with holoprosencephaly, a lobar holoprosencephaly, meaning that where the fetal brain is supposed to look like a butterfly, her brain looked like a horseshoe. Okay? So I had an abortion at 17 weeks. And I know that the doctors told me if I was able to carry her to term, she would probably be stillborn or only live for a few minutes or a few days at that. I made the choice to terminate that pregnancy. And it infuriates me that there are women and girls all around this nation who are in the same position that I found myself in, or these are women or girls who have been raped, who have been molested by family members, and they are being forced because of their zip code to carry these pregnancies to term. So I want to know, how does this keep America great? Okay. If you're forcing girls and women to have pregnancies that they either do not want, cannot afford, or in my case, you are having children that are born with all kinds of abnormalities.
Okay, great question. Let me start with the first one. I do not think that loan forgiveness is fair to everybody. Because what about the people like myself, which my graduate degree I paid off? Mm-hmm. Where's my money at? A lot of these other people that worked while they were in college to pay a debt that they agreed to assume, and they don't get any benefit from it.
I'm a public librarian, sir.
I'm just saying.
I work for the people. Me and Kamala have only, me and Kamala have only had one, we've only had one client that we've ever worked for, and that's the people.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that for all the people that have worked hard, just like you did, mm-hmm. but paid their loan off, mm-hmm. what do they get in return?
I was paying my loans?
No, I'm saying that they paid it off. They paid it off. What do they get in return? They got screwed.
Cool.
No,
I want to hear what you have to say about abortion,
I'm
though.
I'm gonna get to that point. You asked me 2 questions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to that point.
No, I didn't ask that first one.
Well, you made a statement.
I made a statement. Okay, my second one was a question.
I want to rebut your statement, and then I'm gonna get to the board. I got plenty of time. Okay?
All right.
So the first portion is that I don't think it's right that they just completely are going to forgive, and they say they're going to forgive. That's going to go on the taxpayer dollar. They didn't really forgive you. They're going to assume that debt that the taxpayer had to pay for.
I'm a public librarian. So none of that is free. I'm a librarian.
I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, it's not fair to do that. They're
I'm a librarian.
Buying votes by saying they're going to forgive your student loan.
I'm a librarian.
Ma'am, that's not an argument.
No, it's the fact. I'm a librarian.
Well, they're good for you.
Yeah, great.
Thank you for your service.
Not just good for me.
Can we continue the conversation?
It's great. It's great for community.
Now, listen. They only did that to buy votes. That's all they did.
I'm a librarian.
They want to make sure that young people are enthusiastic about voting for them, so they go, we're going to forgive you of this, we're going to forgive you of that. Mm-hmm. It's not good for the national debt. It's not good for the country.
The national
and
debt.
It's not fair.
Trump ran up. Okay, I'm a librarian though, but go ahead.
I'm like, are you trolling me? Are you really think that I'm a librarian is argument?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Let me move to the abortion thing. Abortion is essentially murder. Do you agree with that?
No, I do not.
Or killing of the unborn.
No, I do not. I don't.
Well, what is it called? What are you doing to the baby inside of you?
It's not a baby, it's a fetus.
A fetus is a human. A fetus is a baby.
A fetus is a human.
It is a small child.
It's a fetus. It's a
You
fetus
can
is
say
not
whatever
a,
you want to say. You have 2 children already, right?
I do.
You didn't think it was just a fetus when you wanted the children, correct? They weren't just a fetus. There was a gender reveal. There was an excitement. There was a pregnancy test.
There was a point in the pregnancy when they were fetuses.
Right. There's a pregnancy test that you were excited about. I'm assuming that you and your husband had both children. If not, whoever you had the children with, you were excited. From the time that conception happened to the time that those babies were birthed, you were excited and you believed that they meant something from start to finish. Am I right? Am I wrong? I have 2 children. They meant something to me ever since I found out that my wife was pregnant. They meant something to me and they have value.
Okay.
Now, I do understand the argument that if your child is deformed, that's a separate argument. However, I believe that you should have the baby and take it to term because not every single situation.
That is your belief.
That's fine.
And
you have a belief too.
And I do.
We disagree
But
on
what
that.
I'm saying, yeah, we can disagree on that. But what I'm saying is your beliefs then should not mandate what other people do with their bodies.
You know,
there is no law
it's
in
called
America.
voting.
There is no
It's
law
called
in
voting.
America
I'm gonna
that
vote.
mandates what men do with
Yeah, it
their
is.
bodies.
Yes, it is.
What law is that, sir?
The draft.
The draft.
Yes.
Okay.
Therefore, the government can control whether or not, well, I'm too old to go to the draft, but some of these young people that are on college campus, the government can tell you, we're going to war and you're going to fight and you're going to die for this country.
Okay.
They have no choice. They control the male body through the government.
But there is no law where the government gets to determine whether or not the contents of your uterus.
Let's put it in this perspective. Is it fair to your husband, just say the baby was healthy? The perspective of the baby was healthy, because medical doctors make mistakes all the time. They can say that the baby is going to come out abnormal or something like that, and the baby can be born normal and fine. They make mistakes. So you took a chance on them being right.
So there was no chance.
Okay, you took a chance on them being right.
There was amniocentesis. There was all kinds of. It wasn't a chance.
You took a chance.
There wasn't
on them
a
being
chance,
wrong.
sir. There wasn't a chance.
Okay,
there were all kinds of scans. There was there wasn't a chance.
It's still a chance.
It wasn't a chance. It was not a chance.
Let's move on. I want to give a report on this real quick as well. So shout out to everybody that donated to Save the Storks. We are getting the medical mobile clinic right here in Phoenix, Arizona. We already reached our first goal, which was $150,000 we raised. We passed that goal. Now we're going to go on and get a bigger bus, because we started with the medical mobile clinic that was a smaller one, which is like the one you see in the screen right here. Hold on a second. Let me scroll down. Which is like the one you see in the screen right here above my head. That's like the smaller one. The one that's in the picture like that is the one that we're going to upgrade to. What's the benefit of upgrading to the bigger unit? Before I get to that point, I want to make sure I at least tell you that it's $35 a month to support. You can give any amount. You can give $1. You can give $50. You can give, but we wanted you to get $35 a month because that commitment every month is how we ensure that we can help a young woman. So $35 is at least to support one woman on this journey to give life. So the reason we want to get a bigger bus is because it has more services available. And since we only have one in Phoenix, and Phoenix is one of the biggest metropolitan cities in the entire country, we want to give a full service bus. So you have counseling in the front portion of the bus, and then in the back portion of the bus, women can get ultrasounds and testing and different things like that, and also information to help them choose life. The goal is for no woman to choose to eliminate the life of the unborn because she feels as if she don't have the means or she don't have proper education on the subject. So we're going to make sure that every woman that wants it, that's available, can have education, and we're going to help them choose life and not what these other people are doing. So you and your husband, just say the baby was reported to be healthy. The baby.
The fetus.
Fetus.
Okay.
All of us were fetuses.
At one point,
Okay.
yes. That's a scientific fact. Including that dog was a fetus at one point. Yes. You know,
Okay.
it was a canine fetus. Yes.
Okay.
So what's the point?
What I'm saying is that it's still like the value doesn't change because the baby is born or not. The baby still has the exact same value in the womb as the baby does when it's born.
But this is what I'm
That
saying,
is a fact.
though.
Now let's put it in perspective. Your husband and you both are going to have a healthy baby. Is it fair to your husband that just say that you don't want the baby, that you can go and end the baby's life and your husband has no say?
It is my body.
Is that fair?
It is
but
my
that
body.
is his baby too.
But it's in my body.
Yeah, but it's still his baby.
It's in
his DNA is in your body.
Body.
That baby has
Period.
his DNA in your body.
Period. It's
Is that not fair?
You know what? I was just at the African American History Museum in D.C. No, and I'm gonna get to my point here. And I'm reading about the enslaved in the Low Country. That's where my people are from, the Geechee Gullah part of South Carolina.
Okay.
And I'm reading about like what their lives were like. These are people that had no autonomy and no agency over their body, whether they were raped, whether their children were sold from them. What I'm telling you is, it is my body. It is not my husband's body. It is not.
The
it
baby
is
in
not the
you
rapist's
is not your body.
No, it is my body. It cannot live outside of my body. It is a part of my body.
That
the
argument,
fetus. I'm talking about the fetus.
That argument doesn't work because when the baby is born, it still can't live without you.
Body.
Can the baby, when it's born, live without you?
The baby, yes.
No, it cannot.
Yes, it can.
How's
Other people
the baby
can take
gonna
care
live?
of the baby. They can give the baby formula. They can do all of that.
Yeah, but it has to. It can't just live on its own.
Well, yeah, some adult, not necessarily me, but some adult has to care for it. See, that is a porous, ridiculous argument.
Not true.
What I'm saying
the
is,
baby still
up
needs
until the point of viability,
when is viable? When is the baby viable?
You know what? I've made my point here.
No, when is the baby viable?
No,
when
sir.
is viability?
I've made my point.
If your point is viability, then you're going to have to change your point almost every year.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Because 50 years ago, a baby could not be born as early as they can be today with modern technology.
Okay.
So was it not viable then and is also viable now and is now viable?
But okay,
the argument, it's a moot point. The bottom line with abortion is that it's selfish.
It's a moot point.
Abortion is selfish.
So you think it was selfish?
It is selfish.
What do I owe my child that is alive then if I give birth to if I give birth to a child that does not have the frontal part of her brain?
So if the baby is diagnosed or to have Down syndrome, should you be able to abort the baby?
No, I'm not talking about Down syndrome.
No, let's say Down syndrome.
No, because
abortion
that's easy. I'm talking about a low bar holoprosencephaly. Say it with me.
Let's argue.
Low bar holoprosencephaly.
Are you trying to make a rap now? Okay.
I can.
Let's argue this
point. No, I'm talking about a child that is not born with the HQ.
Let's agree to this.
With the frontal lobe.
Now let's agree to this.
Yes.
Let's agree to this.
Let's agree to this.
I'm
talking about catastrophic.
Can we agree on this?
I'm not talking about Down syndrome.
Let's do that. Let's agree.
Okay, so go ahead. Talk about a low bar holoprosencephaly.
Let's agree.
Go ahead.
Let's agree real quick. Let's say that every child that is born with that disability, which
a low bar holoprosencephaly,
which I haven't researched it, but let's assume that they may be stillborn when they're born.
Okay.
Let's just stick to that one. Every woman who has that condition can have an abortion, and no other women can have abortions. Would you agree to that?
No, I would not.
So then, what are the other women doing?
I believe that.
So you get the bump and grind and pump and sweat with no consequences. Is that what you're saying?
But every woman who pumps and grinds, there are women where it was forced upon them.
Okay,
it was girls where it was forced upon them.
Let's say that those women, we agree that they're exempt.
No.
But everybody else no abortion.
No.
Why?
Any woman, any girl,
for any reason, can kill their baby.
That they want to have an abortion
for
should be allowed to do
That's
that.
Insane.
That reason is her business.
No, it's not.
It is her business. It is not your business. It is not my business.
Let me tell you how
it is her business.
Let's do some
period.
Math.
Now you know what I got to do?
Let's do
I got to
some
go.
math.
No, because I'm a librarian. I got to go and do a librarian thing right now. So peace. Peace.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Okay, now that she's gone, let me be able to speak. So I think that abortion is selfish. Most women who are having abortions now are not due to rape and incest and none of that. That's less than 1% of all abortions. Most of them, as we all know, y'all grown, people having sex and they get pregnant and it's unwanted and they decide to have an abortion, whether they have it, plan B and all this other, they have an abortion in the first trimester or whatever the case may be. That's what most abortions are. Can we agree that if you're not ready to take care of a child, you probably shouldn't be laying up with Tony, right? Can we be fair? You made a decision. Let me say this. I tell people this and they want to throw me off a cliff. I say I'm pro-life and pro-choice at the same time. Why do you say that, Brandon? Every woman does have a choice. Whether it was in the bedroom or in the den or in the back of the car, you had a choice. The choice is in the bedroom, not at the clinic. Can we be fair? I think men should be held to that account too. Brother, if you're not ready to have a baby, you can't be putting you where you don't supposed to be. If you're not ready to work on a job, why are you filling out the application and going to the job interview? If you don't want to get an injury, why are you playing football? Like, you can't expect that you are going to do these things that create life and expect for a life not to come. It creates a situation where young men don't have to be held accountable and women are being used. Because all a young man have to do, because you can have an abortion, I'm gonna sleep with you. But then when it's time to have the baby, I don't want nothing to do with you. You're on your own, Jack. That gives men the possibility to do that, because then therefore a woman can just have an abortion. I don't think that that's fair. I don't think that's moral in our society. It is not okay to say, because I don't want you, I can kill you. And people that believe in abortions, they cannot navigate. At what point is it not right? They have to say to birth. They have to. And if an abortion is botched and the baby is born alive, do you let it die? Those are things that I think we should be having a real conversation about. And I don't know how any woman defends abortion. I just don't understand. And if you got a defense, come to the mic and give me your defense, and maybe I could change my mind about it. But it's indefensible. It's indefensible. You have a choice whether or not you have sex. And if you have sex and you have an unplanned pregnancy, go to term. If you don't want the kid, don't have sex. And that goes for young men too. I had a kid in college. I wasn't ready. I was doing the do, like most of y'all probably doing. I didn't care. I was negligent, but when she got pregnant, I said, I don't get a chance to say, you better have an abortion. I'm not ready to be a dad. I didn't have that opportunity, and I didn't want that opportunity. I said, I laid up, I made a kid, I'm gonna be a father. That is my obligation. Now my boy is 14 years old and flourishing in life. And people like to say, well, I can't afford the baby, I don't have the means. There's a lot of people that are great, that done great things in this country, and their parents weren't always financially stable at the time they were born. Anybody know who Ben Carson is? I hope everybody knows who Ben Carson is. I mean, he's only the greatest pediatric surgeon to ever live. So Ben Carson, he grew up in an environment, he was born into an environment, his mother couldn't read. His father wasn't there. They didn't have all the money and everything that they needed when he was born. But look at what he turned out to be. He made an incredible impact in the world. Every child deserves a life to live. And I'll say this as well. Instead of us funding Planned Parenthood and pushing women to have abortions, how about we help women to give life and birth the children that they want? How about we help them in that process? How about we give them information, support to have the child and to take care of the children? How about we hold young men accountable and say, look, if you're gonna lay up, you need to take care of your responsibilities. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna shut up and open the mic again. Women, you can't have it 5 different directions. If it's your body, your choice, and the government is not involved at all, therefore when you have the child, you cannot get government assistance. You can't put a father on child support. It's your body, your choice. It's all on you, right, sis? You can't have your cake and eat it too. Women want to say, it's my body, my choice. I can kill it, I can keep it. But then when it's born, the government owes me if I need government assistance, and the daddy have to pay child support if he gon'. How are you gonna want the government to enforce laws, but then to stay out of your womb? You can't have it both ways. How about you be fair and reasonable and say that if you're gonna be my body, my choice, then the government cannot be involved whatsoever. Next question, next person on the mic.